Okay, Thomas, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Eva.
Yeah, thank you. And we're trying to present the different types of sexual trauma, how it impacts a person's life, and also how people heal from it. So today I talk to you, and how would you call what happened to you?
I was spiked coming home from a party. I met a guy, so I think it fits into a date rape kind of situation. Mm-hmm. And ended up at his house and was given GHB as soon as I walked in.
What were you given?
GHB. Mm-hmm. And I collapsed very quickly afterwards and woke up in a different room, having been lifted from the lounge to the bedroom, and I woke up and he was raping me without a condom.
And what happened afterwards?
Well, I woke up and I remembered that I had told him several times through the evening that I didn't want to have sex with him, but I was happy just to talk to him as a friend. I thought I found a new friend on a dance floor. And at the end of the night, I was invited back to his. I reiterated what had happened, that I didn't want to have sex with him. So the first thing I did when I woke up was tell him, yeah, I didn't want to have sex with you, and you've given me a drug. I've passed out, and here I am, and you're fucking me. And he became quite angry. He told me, don't say that I was raping you. So at that point, I could recognize that there was some maliciousness in him. He was angry, so I started to try to calm the situation down, which is a little bit fawning behavior. It became quite a difficult situation. I didn't feel I could leave straight away, so I stayed there for quite some time. He became more and more verbally abusive until I finally felt safe enough to leave.
I do know, just for the people who are watching, that although it may sound strange, like, why aren't you leaving?
Yeah.
It's actually quite normal then when people are in an unsafe environment or threatening, that they're just trying to keep the atmosphere low until the moment that they can actually leave the situation.
Yeah.
So can you tell me, how did it go with you afterwards? Because normally when people have experienced a recent assault, they have, in the first couple of weeks, they have sleeping problems, and they feel tensed, and they have difficulty with eating or going out or having a normal pattern. And a lot of people don't tell immediately because, first of all, they don't understand what happened to them, or they are not able to give words to what happened to them, or they are afraid that they will be blamed themselves. So can you tell me what happened on short term afterwards?
I felt like my reality had shifted, waking up in somebody's bed, feeling totally vulnerable and not able to really put words to what had happened. I registered straight away what it was. I knew that, sex without consent is rape. So I understood what it was, but I had never really heard about this discussion within the community that I belonged to. So I felt very vulnerable in that moment. And my mental health as well kind of reflected that. It was very difficult for me to settle and ground myself straight afterwards. When I tried to talk to friends a few days later, they were not really equipped with the tools to understand what had happened either. I mean, I had never heard of it happening. Of course, it does happen, a lot, actually. And so, it was difficult when I came out to friends, and also when I told people within the community, hoping that I could keep them safe. And their response was pretty normalizing of the discussion or of what had happened to me. Mm-hmm. It took me a while to be grounded. I was fortunate I was already seeing a therapist, so I could go straight to my therapist and share what had happened. But I I really found it difficult to calm myself and settle myself.
And how is it now with you? How are you doing now?
How am I doing? I'm doing good. I found a way to take the situation and turn it into quite an empowering journey. I've been able to set up a foundation and work to help the community come to terms with the discussion that we have to make each other safer. So it's going good. It's been a journey. Here I am.
And you founded Menaswell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. And you just mentioned that in the gay community, it happens a lot, you said. How do you know?
Well, data tells us it happens to 1 in 4 gay and bisexual men every year. And actually that's underreported when you look at the methodology. If you look at Belgium, it's 80% of LGBTQIA+ in their lifetime experience this. But it's something that carries a lot of shame within the community, and it's very difficult to talk about with this population because we have a whole host of reasons to not talk about it.
Tell me about these reasons.
We have been conditioned to accept violence against us in many ways. We have a lot of minority stress that we experience, and we found a community on the basis of sexual liberty. So all of these things kind of are contradictory to sexual violence, but when it happens so much, there's also a kind of an element of normalization that's happened as well. People consider that their bad experience is normal, and they can go on then to harm other people as well.
I remember I had some boys in treatment, and they were like starting the phase, experimental, am I gay or not, starting to enter the gay scene. And I think any person can be victimized by assault or rape, but some people are, because of the circumstances, more vulnerable.
Yeah, I mean, if we just have to look at the education that we receive, sex education in school, it's very heteronormative. It doesn't teach about the environments that people enter when they turn 18 and can go to a gay bar or go to a sauna or go to a circuit party. And all of these places carry different sets of norms as well. So it's very difficult for people to navigate these things. And on top of that, we have if you look at velvet rage theory, a need for validation, that happens a lot to younger gay people as well. But it can happen really to anybody. I mean, it's very easy to look at and think, okay, well, vulnerable people are the risk group.
I would never use the term vulnerable people.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing wrong with the people. The circumstances make them vulnerable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we agree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can happen to anybody. I mean, especially when drugs are being weaponized. That really changes the game, and people can be very well aware of how to set their own boundaries and how to respect other people's boundaries, which is usually a lesson that they learn gradually over time within our community. But they can also then be spiked, or they can fall into a situation that then can be extorted by somebody else, and it happens really to anybody from 15, 16 onwards, all the way up to 60,
Did you see changes in the last few years in the gay scene?
Yeah, I think that there's definitely an appetite from the younger generation to begin to talk about this. We're told that this is a safe community. And then when people begin to have these situations and experiences, they realize this is not as safe as I was told it was. So I feel this generation is definitely ready to start taking ownership over the situation a bit more. And there's much more visibility. I mean, obviously the work that Centrum Seksueel Geweld has done as well to make sure that men are included. I think this is also already helping to lower the boundaries for people or barriers for people. So I see a change. I think that we're going to gradually reach it, a point where inside our social movement, consent is a given, because that's what's necessary.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long journey, but I'm very optimistic.
Well, I appreciate your energy to changes, because what I see as a therapist in boys and in men especially is that when they are being abused or assaulted, and the body reacts automatically with a response, so they get an erection or an orgasm, and then they start thinking, especially when they are younger, oh, why did my body react like this? Why did my body respond like this? It's a proof that, so I must be gay, or am I gay? And I think for men and boys, compared to girls and women, they experience far more shame and guilt, because the society thinks, oh, you are a man, how can you be raped? You're strong. Or they think when boys, for example, are raped by a woman, they're making fun of it. It's the lucky boy phenomenon. Oh, why do you bother? Sex is nice. Don't make such a fuss about it. So I think when you also look at the numbers, 1 in 3 abused men never tell, and 1 in 4 abused women never tell. There's still more shame and guilt on the side of the boys and the men.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really an emasculating experience. And then when we apply that emasculating experience towards the community as well, then we have minority stress that kicks in, intra-community gay minority stress as well, the stress from within our community as to how to behave. So I think there's then a double stigma that's attached to it. On the one hand, you're a man that's experienced sexual violence, and on the other hand, you're a gay guy who must like having sex with everybody because that's the stereotype that we fit into. And so to say that you don't like that experience then is counter not only to social narrative, but also the community narrative. And I think that's really difficult.
So I'm sure that you agreed to talk with me because you hope that other people, young boys and men especially, who are maybe hesitating on whether yes or not to disclose, whether yes or not to seek help, or maybe go to the police. What would be your most important advice based on your own personal experiences?
To recognize as early as possible that you're not alone, and to try and find, and that's what I hope with men as well to be able to provide, is networks of people. Try and find someone who's been through the same experience to support you. Make sure the people around you are able to support you. Ask them to read up and understand what it is that happened to you if they're not able to, and never feel like this was your fault.
Wow. Good. So Menaswell, how can people contact Menaswell?
Yeah, people can follow us on Instagram at Menaswell, and if anybody needs any information on consent, online dating, they can go to menaswell.nl as well. And that information is very much targeted towards the queer community. So it includes information about minimizing HIV infection and all sorts of information about dark rooms and Grindr. So follow us on Instagram and go to menaswell.nl.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eva.